EC Dreamers, how are you, Super Dreamers? Welcome to the live chat. Now, I'm just going to make sure that you can all get the link. So let me do that now. All right, so I have posted the link on the members board. So hopefully you guys will start joining me very soon. If you're watching the recorded version, you can skip this first minute whilst I wait for people to come and join me. But in a minute, there will be some really good English coming your way. How are you guys? I hope you're doing really well. Let's see. Let's make sure everyone has the link. I'm going to just post it a few more times so that everyone has the link. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've posted the link on the board. Sorry about, first of all, apologies for the change of schedule. I wasn't able to do it last week, so I switched it to this week. And also, like, I was trying to play with the times as well. So it's 8 p.m. here in London, which I thought was maybe a bit easier and better for most of you guys. But you can watch it on the recorded version anyway. So you get it whichever way. So I've been in Hong Kong, as some of you may well know. I was out there working and visiting my girlfriend Grace, which was fantastic. We filmed 2 videos, which I'm going to put up, one on Friday this week, and probably 2 weeks after that, the second one. They're really useful. One is looking at American versus British English pronunciation, and the other one is looking at words that have come from colonialism, which is really interesting. We really get in depth into words that have come from India and from Hong Kong and other places. So yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that one out. So let's see, let's make sure that everyone can see this video. I'm going to refresh that there. Let's see. Okay, so let me just post it in here as well. Okay, I'm going to double post it here. All right, so it's been posted in 2 different places. Okay, well, let's get going regardless. I'm going to dive into a few of your questions. Rafaela, you gave me a great question. And then Gabriella, as always, left me a couple of questions as well. So I'm going to dive into those. And if and when you guys arrive, then you can ask me questions as we go. All right, so the first question was Rafaela. And she asked the difference between take and bring. Take and bring. What a great question. So it's all about where we are thinking, where we're imagining that we are when we're saying our sentence. So bring suggests that there's a movement towards where we are, and take suggests a movement away from where we are. Now, her example was, do I take my daughter to school or bring my daughter to school? Really fantastic example. If you say, I'm going to take my daughter to school, then you are going away from the place that you're speaking. So probably we're speaking from our home, right? We're saying, okay, I'm going to take my daughter to school. We are at home, and school is another location. So we are moving away from our home to the school. So we take them to school. If we say, I'm going to bring my daughter to school, then we're positioning ourselves in the school. We are in the school, and the idea is the movement towards the school. So I'm bringing my daughter to school. So that's really the key point, is where you are imagining yourself when you say the sentence. Another example would be, I'm taking a sandwich to work. Okay, I'm taking a sandwich to work. So you are saying that probably at home, right? And then you will move away from your home to work, and you'll take the sandwich with you. You might say, I brought a sandwich from home. I brought a sandwich from home. Here, the concept is that when you're speaking, you're at work, okay? And you were at home, and you've taken the sandwich and you've brought it towards where you are, right? So I brought a sandwich from home. So I'm in the place, the work, but I've brought the thing towards me. It's important to note that in American English, there isn't such a big difference. I think they use bring and take much more interchangeably, but for us in Britain, there's quite an important difference. So yeah, that's the key there. If you guys have any questions, obviously put them into the comments on the side. Put them in the comments below this video, and I will come and answer them, of course. All right, so Rafaela, I hope that was useful for you. Gabriella, let's move on to your questions. We've got however and on the other hand. However and on the other hand. Now, you asked what is the difference. If we are contrasting two things, then there is no difference. We can use them completely interchangeably. I couldn't find a big enough difference to even mention. So we contrast two things. One that's very different from the first thing, right? So my example was, I love the humidity in Hong Kong. My dad, on the other hand, hates it. My dad, on the other hand, hates it. Okay, so I love the humidity in Hong Kong. My dad, on the other hand, hates it. So I'm contrasting these two things. I love the humidity in Hong Kong. He hates it. Contrasting two different things. Now, I can put in the same places, on the other hand, I can put however. Exactly the same. So I love the humidity in Hong Kong. However, my dad hates it. I can put that perfectly in the middle. So on the other hand, we'll always go at the beginning of the second clause, and however often does as well. So absolutely fine. These two contrast perfectly. We use them interchangeably. I wouldn't worry about any difference with this meaning. Okay, let me just check to see if anyone else is coming online. I hope this all makes sense, guys, so far. All right, so I'm just going to check if the live stream is working. Often very good. I'm just going to check if the live stream. It is indeed. All right, that's good. All right, so that was the first question you had, Gabriella. Second question was, should it be more clear or clearer? So obviously we're looking here at comparatives, more clear or clearer. Because it's a one-syllable adjective, it should really be clearer. Okay, it's a one-syllable adjective, so we just add the ER, clearer. However, I have seen, or I do hear with one-syllable adjectives that sometimes, certainly native speakers, might use more as well. So other examples, happy. Now it should be happier, right? Happier. But you might hear someone say, you know what, I'm more happy today than I was yesterday. You might hear that. Or another adjective, wise. Should really be wiser. But I've heard people say, oh, he's much more wise than I am. So although grammatically it should be with the ER because it's a one-syllable adjective, I have heard people use clearer or more clear. It's in spoken English, you might hear that. So I wouldn't worry too much about getting that exactly right. Now, flowing on from that, two-syllable adjectives are much more commonly used with both forms. So clever, for example, clever, you might have more clever or cleverer. Both interchangeably absolutely fine. Friendly is another example. Friendly, you could have friendlier or more friendly. Friendlier or more friendly. Simple. This one is a great example. Simple could be simpler or more simple. Quiet as well. Quiet. So it could be quieter or more quiet. So I think it's more common for two-syllable adjectives to have both forms. With one syllable adjectives, you probably it would be better to use the ER form, if that makes sense. Okay, and finally, Gabriella, you asked about verbs that take both the gerund and the infinitive form, but they have different meanings. This is really good. So, for example, like, I like to play football, I like playing football. It can take both the gerund and the infinitive, but the meaning is the same. Yeah, I like playing football, I like to play football. It's the same meaning. However, with some verbs, the meaning changes. So, my example, well, I'll get to that in a second. The best example is remember. Remember. So, if I said, I remember playing football, I remember playing football with my dad in the back garden. I remember playing football with my dad in the back garden. So I remember playing. So we've got the gerund. This is a memory. It's something that happened in the past. And now I think about it. So the action happened first. I played football with my dad in the garden. And then second action is I think about it. I remember this action. So we use it for past actions, right? So I remember playing football with my dad in the garden, or I remember visiting my grandma when I was a child. We use it for past memories. Now, remember to take the boys. So let me think of another example. Remember to take your son to football, or whatever it might be. Hello, Rafaela. Yes, the video, will be available. Don't worry, it goes into the stream. I'll leave the link there. It'll be on the page, on the main page, so you'll be able to view it tomorrow. So don't worry. Thank you for asking your question, and nice to see you. Let me go back to my example there. So remember to take Stan to the football. Remember to take Stan to the football. This action, there were two actions again. So you think about an action, and then you take Stan to football, Stan being my nephew. The thinking comes first, right? So I've thought, okay, I need to take Stan to the football. And the action of taking Stan to the football comes second, right? So whereas with the remember and then the gerund, we have the action first, playing football, and then we think about that action, we remember it. With remember and the infinitive, we think first, and then we do the action. So this isn't for memories, this is for things that we need to do, or things that we think about in the future, or in the perceived future. So yeah, I hope that makes some sense. Definitely two different uses. Let's think about stop. Stop has a different meaning as well. So thanks for popping in, Rafaela. Really nice to chat to you. Ciao to you. So with stop, I stopped smoking means that I quit, right? Stopped, and then the gerund form, you stop doing something. You no longer do that action, right? It's one action and you don't do it anymore. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking, whatever the thing might be. Stop, and then the infinitive is a different meaning altogether. I stopped to light a cigarette. I stopped to light a cigarette. To light your cigarette. Now here we have two actions. We have the stopping of whatever action you were doing before, and then the new action is lighting the cigarette. Okay. So let's say I'm walking down the street, and then I say I stopped to light my cigarette. That means I was walking. This is the first action. I then stop walking so that I can do the second action, lighting the cigarette. So you're walking along, you stop, you get your cigarette, you light it, and then maybe you carry on. So stop plus the infinitive, there are two actions. You stop doing one to do the other one, if that makes any sense. Okay, forget. Let's look at forget. Forget plus the infinitive. I forgot to call my sister on her birthday. I forgot to call my sister on her birthday. What's the action? Well, calling my sister. I didn't do this action. It's something you didn't do because you forgot, right? I forgot to call my sister. Now, with the ing, with the gerund form, I'd forgotten calling my sister on her birthday. I'd forgotten calling my sister on her birthday. I did the action, I called her, but I don't remember it, or I didn't remember it. I didn't remember doing the action. So with the verb, with forget and the infinitive, you don't do the action. So I didn't call my sister. I forgot to call her. I didn't do it. With the gerund, I'd forgotten calling my sister. I did do the action. I called her, but I've forgotten that I did that action. It's a bit strange, I know. Now, probably much more commonly, I wouldn't use that gerund form. If I wanted to express the same thing, that I'd forgotten to do something, that I forgot that I did an action, I would use that clause. So I would say, I'd forgotten that I called my sister. I'd forgotten that I called my sister. In that sentence, I did call my sister, but I forgot that I had called her. If that makes sense, let me know, okay? Put that in the comments below. If you find that confusing still, let me know. If you want to practice any of these concepts, then just write an example sentence and I will come and correct them or say they're great or whatever. Okay, so that's forget. Let's look at try. Now, try for me, there are many grammar books that will say they're different. I struggle to see the importance of how they're different. They are different, I know, but I personally use them quite interchangeably. Let me have a quick sip of water and then I'll get into that. Okay, so try plus the infinitive. We use it to say that we're attempting to do something. So when I'm chatting to my girlfriend on Skype, sometimes the quality is quite bad. So she'll say to me, try to call me again. Try to call me again. Like, make an attempt to call me again. Maybe it will be better. So that's try to. With the gerund form, the grammar books say that you're using it as an experiment. So I tried learning Arabic last year. Now, yes, fair enough. It's an experiment. It's something you think you could try. It might be good, it might be bad, you don't know. It's an experiment. Now, personally, why couldn't you say, I tried to learn Arabic last year? It was an attempt. Yeah. So if something's an experiment or an attempt, it's kind of similar to me. So I don't worry too much about which one is which. I don't think it's too important. I tried to learn Arabic last year. I tried learning Arabic last year. The meaning for me isn't particularly different. Certainly not in the same way as remember or forget. So yeah, I wouldn't think too much about that one. My last example, which has a very big difference, is regret. So I regret getting drunk last night. It's not a true sentence, it's just an example. I regret getting drunk last night. I did something in the past that I'm embarrassed about, or that I wish I hadn't done. I regret getting drunk last night. So that's regret plus the ing. Now, regret plus the infinitive is a completely different meaning. I regret to tell you that you have been fired. I regret to tell you that you've been fired. I regret, and then the infinitive to tell you you've been fired. This is a very formal structure to give bad news. So I regret to inform you. I regret to say. I regret to ask, whatever the thing might be. You are sorry that you have to do this thing. And it's a very formal way to do that. So very different meanings. Regret ing and regret infinitive, very different. Okay, guys. So you're probably watching this in the recorded version. As I say, please write example sentences, write any follow-up questions you have for these points. They're great questions as always, guys. I really love the questions that I get from you guys because it makes me think deeper about the language, and it's really interesting. And hopefully that will clear up some of those for you. Thank you so much again for all your support. I'm very excited to announce that I've got my book coming soon. I'm working really hard on it every day, trying to add more information to this guide to British English. I'm adding a pronunciation section. Thanks to you guys. You guys made that suggestion to me that you want more pronunciation. So we're looking at received pronunciation, Cockney, all the major cities. And then once I've got a sort of a draft version, I'll send it out to you guys and you can have a look at it, give your feedback. And then hopefully I'll be able to get a proper version to you soon. Probably 6 weeks is what I'm looking at the moment. It's going to be a long process, but yeah, that's to come. And then hopefully I'll be able to add an online course to that book. So with videos and recorded content as well. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff to come. Thank you for your support. And as Super Dreamers, obviously you're going to get special access to these materials. You'll get it before anyone else. And yeah, I'll be giving you sort of extra stuff, which is very cool. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll do another live stream very soon. In the next couple of weeks, I promise we'll do another live stream where all of you guys can attend and yeah, enjoy the video. All right, until next time, guys, this is Tom, Little Dreamer, saying goodbye.